A breaking news out of the NFL world has just shaken up fans everywhere, and it's one of those stories that no one saw coming, but everyone is already talking about. The Pittsburgh Steelers have officially pulled off a blockbuster move that is making waves not just in Pittsburgh, but across the entire league. Reports confirm that the Steelers have traded for none other than superstar linebacker Micah Parsons, a move that is already being called one of the boldest decisions of the season.
Fans are shocked, rivals are scrambling to react, and the football world is buzzing with non-stop conversation about what this means for the Steelers' future. Micah Parsons, known for his dominance with the Dallas Cowboys, has been a game-changer since the moment he entered the NFL. His speed, power, and versatility on defense made him a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks and a cornerstone for Dallas. But now, the Steelers have swooped in and secured one of the league's most electrifying defensive talents. The question on everyone's mind is simple. How did Pittsburgh make this happen, and what does it mean moving forward? For Steelers Nation, this is the kind of news that instantly changes expectations for the season. The energy in Pittsburgh right now is nothing short of electric. Fans have been craving a spark, something that signals this team is ready to rise back into serious contention, and Parsons might just be that missing piece. He's the kind of player who doesn't just make a defense better, he transforms it entirely. With TJ Watt already wreaking havoc on one side of the field, imagine adding Micah Parsons to the mix. Quarterbacks across the league are already dreading the thought of facing this terrifying duo, and the Steelers' defense suddenly looks like one of the most dangerous units in all of football. This move also signals that the Steelers' front office is not messing around. They're sending a clear message to the rest of the league. Pittsburgh is going all in, and they're serious about competing for championships again. Trades of this magnitude don't just happen every day, and when they do, they reshape the balance of power. Fans are flooding social media with celebration posts, memes, and excitement, with many calling this the best move the team has made in years. For a fan base as passionate and loyal as Steelers Nation, this is a day to celebrate, and the city is already buzzing as if it's game day. Of course, every blockbuster deal comes with questions. What did the Steelers have to give up in order to land Parsons? Did they part with draft picks, veteran players, or perhaps both? Those details will trickle out soon, but for now, the focus is on the fact that Pittsburgh has landed one of the biggest defensive stars in the game. It's a high-stakes gamble, but one that could pay off in a massive way if Parsons helps bring the Steelers back to championship glory. As this news continues to spread, fans and analysts alike are scrambling to break down what this means for the AFC. With Parsons in black and gold, the Steelers' chances against top-tier offenses just skyrocketed. This defense could once again become the heart and soul of the team, striking fear into anyone who lines up against them. The excitement is contagious, the future looks brighter than ever, and Steelers Nation is celebrating like never before. This isn't just another trade, it's a defining moment, and it could very well be the turning point that sets Pittsburgh on a path back to the top of the NFL. The ripple effects of this trade are already being felt across the league. Rival AFC teams, particularly those in the North, are paying close attention to what Pittsburgh has just done. For years, the Steelers' defense has been known as tough and physical, but this move takes them into a whole new stratosphere. The Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, and Cleveland Browns now have to prepare for the nightmare scenario of facing both TJ Watt and Micah Parsons in divisional battles. These matchups were already heated, but now they could become some of the most explosive and talked about games of the season. Every offensive coordinator in the division is already losing sleep, trying to figure out how to stop a defense that just added one of the league's best young stars. Beyond the rivalries, this trade also shifts the way the Steelers are viewed nationally. For the last few seasons, the Steelers have been seen as a team in transition, hovering between rebuilding and competing, never fully one or the other. By bringing in Micah Parsons, they've made a bold statement that they're ready to compete at the highest level. This is not a rebuilding move, it's a win-now move, and it shows the franchise's confidence in its core roster.
Adding Parsons could be the piece that finally elevates this team back into the Super Bowl conversation, something fans have been craving since the days of Big Ben leading the charge.
The impact on the locker room cannot be understated either. Players feed off energy, and a superstar addition like this sends shockwaves through the entire team. Veterans like Cameron Hayward and Micah Fitzpatrick are surely fired up about this deal, knowing that it gives them another elite weapon to work with. Younger players will look up to Parsons' work ethic and fire, and the competitive atmosphere in practice is about to skyrocket.
A move like this doesn't just change the roster, it changes the entire culture of the team. And in the NFL, culture often makes the difference between good and great.
Another angle that can't be ignored is what this means for the Steelers fan base worldwide. Steelers Nation is one of the most passionate and widespread fan bases in all of sports, and news like this only strengthens that bond. Fans from Pittsburgh to Europe to Asia are celebrating on social media, sharing highlights of Parsons and imagining what he'll look like in that iconic black and gold uniform. Jerseys are already selling, and you can bet that Heinz Field will be louder than ever when Parsons makes his debut. For a team and city that prides itself on defense, this is the type of acquisition that reignites the pride and tradition of steel curtain football. But let's not forget the bigger picture. This trade could have ripple effects for years to come. If Parsons delivers in the way fans expect, this could be the start of a new defensive dynasty in Pittsburgh. With Watt in his prime, Parsons entering his, and a core of talented players around them, the Steelers could dominate offensively and defensively for seasons to come. Opposing offenses may have no answer for the relentless pressure, and that could be the foundation for deep playoff runs and possibly championship victories. The legacy of this trade might go beyond this season. It could define an entire era of Steelers football. Finally, the conversation about risk versus reward will always linger. Some analysts will argue that the Steelers might have mortgaged part of their future to make this happen, depending on the draft picks or assets they gave up. But in football, opportunities don't last forever, and when a talent like Parsons becomes available, you seize the chance. Pittsburgh has shown it's willing to bet big on its vision for the future, and that boldness could be exactly what sets them apart. For now, though, it's all about the celebration, the energy, and the anticipation of seeing Micah Parsons in a Steelers uniform. Fans are ready, the league is on notice, and a new chapter of Steelers football has officially begun.